former Manhattan assistant district attorney and current professor at New York Law School. Interesting language there. One of your scholarly articles was cited in the acting Manhattan U.S. attorney's lengthy resignation letter, which seems to speak directly to the sound that we just played. She argued dismissing the case with the option of indicting Adams again in the future creates obvious ethical problems if Adams' cooperation is, quote, unsatisfactory. Adams claims he did not trade his authority as mayor in exchange for ending his case. But when you listen to that clip, is a threat being delivered?
You know, it certainly looks that way. There is the appearance that there is this dismissal with leverage, essentially, that what the Department of Justice is doing is holding over his head the possibility of being recharged with these crimes to make him do what they want him to do. But you know what? Even if that is not the case, it is inappropriate to either bring or dismiss charges in order to affect some kind of public policy consequence. And here, even if what they're doing is just trying to free him up because he's doing what they wanted to do anyway, that's also an inappropriate use of the criminal laws. So either way, that is not the way prosecutors have been trained to use their power. And that's why we see so many resignations, because this is an inappropriate partisan consideration to being injected into a decision that ought to be about the impartial application of the laws.
Well, federal prosecutors to drop corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Natasha Verma. The order ending months of speculation about the future of Mayor Adams' bribery case. The order laid out in this two-page memo from the DOJ obtained by Fox 5 directs prosecutors to dismiss the charges without prejudice against the mayor. Of course, this comes after he was indicted back in September, accused of accepting perks and campaign contributions in exchange for influence. We have Fox 5 live team coverage for you tonight.
All right, Morgan McKay standing by with reaction and what's next for the mayor, but we're going to start with Linda Schmidt live in the newsroom and the order to drop the charges. Linda, wow.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. And you're talking about that order. Here it is right here, the two-page order from the acting deputy attorney general. Now, critics have accused Mayor Adams of cozying up to President Trump in the past few months in the hopes of getting a pardon. Instead, Trump's Justice Department today ordered federal prosecutors to drop the corruption case against him. The reason? They say the case is interfering with the mayor's ability to help the president crack down on illegal immigration.
Case of New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The DOJ filing paperwork last night to drop the charges, which include bribery and fraud against Adams. Adams pleaded not guilty in September. Friday's move coming despite the resignations of more than a half dozen federal prosecutors working on the case. They raised concern after the deputy attorney general said a prosecution would hinder Adams' ability to assist the Trump administration with its immigration policies. On Friday, before heading to Florida for the holiday weekend, the president denied any involvement in the case.
Well, joining me here in the studio, Tamika Mallory, civil rights activist and organizer, former national co-chair of the Women's March on Washington, now president of Mallory Consulting and co-founder of Until Freedom. And she has a new book. It is titled, I Lived to Tell the Story. Thank you for the signed copy, which you brought me in the studio.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to have that. We are going to get to your book in just a moment. But, I remind viewers that you led that wave of public resistance, really, during Trump's first term.
Right.
How do you view the supposed new alliance between the president and your hometown mayor and the plans to drop charges without prejudice so they can be revived at any time?
Yeah, this is very alarming. I think, listening to all that's happening in this moment, everyone, not just New Yorkers, but across the country should be concerned about what we're seeing. First of all, the Department of Justice is not supposed to be the personal law firm of the president or anyone in the federal government. In fact, they're supposed to be operating in complete and clear autonomy. And I don't believe that that's what we're seeing happen in this situation.
Because he staffed it with his personal attorneys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you see that, folks are making public resignations. That's also dangerous. And I watched a clip recently of Mayor Adams on TV, I think Fox, with Tom Homan, the border czar. And the conversation there was pretty alarming as well. It was actually embarrassing to have Tom Homan say, isn't this what we agreed upon? And if not, I'll show up in your office. And it reeks of a lot of things that we don't have time to dive into today. But it was embarrassing, I think, for Adams. And I also think it's a part of what is really dangerous.